Yo, what is up, guys? So we're here to talk about and showcase off the new archetype, the Orphgels. So they are a new archetype that has pretty boss link monsters. I mean, the main, I guess, boss monster that I really want to talk about, at least at the start right now, is talking about the Orphgel Orchestreon. So basically, their links are kind of like a diagonal. I'm not sure if that's like intentional, but the field spell actually makes it so you can utilize their effects during your opponent's turn, which is actually pretty good. But anyways, this is like the boss monster, right? They actually have several boss monsters like at the very start of the release. But anyways, so our Orchestreon has the effect where it says this linked card cannot be destroyed by battle by card effects. Then you also can target 3 of your banished machine monsters, which of course that's part of the archetype. You just shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, if your opponent controls any face-up link monsters, change their attack and defense 0, also negate their effects. So, you know, that's a pretty good effect if you're able to, you know, pull off, I'm going to reset my plays, because the Orphgels, they all have banished effects. And, for example, Sure Zone, and we're going to go through these a little bit fast because, well, we've got lots of gameplay, but I want to give you guys kind of a variety here. Shout out to Yugioh Invader for this one. But anyways, it has that effect. You can banish itself from the graveyard, target an Orphgel monster except for itself, and special summon it. And a lot of the cards in the Orphgel archetype all have the effect where you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for dark monsters, and then they each can only use their effects like once per turn, which that's pretty much most cards anyways. But anyways, they have some decent little spell and trap support, like for example, Orphgel Attack. When any player's monster declares an attack, you attribute 1, target 1 monster your opponent controls, and banish it. That's a pretty good effect, especially since the deck generally has a lot of like free cards. And on top of that, here's another one of the link monsters. So this one has the effect where Orphgel, well, that's its requirements is to have 2 effect monsters, including 1 Orphgel monster. But this link card can't be destroyed by battle, so like the upgraded version is not being able to destroy battle by card effects. But then you can target one of your banished machine monsters, shuffle into the deck, then you can set a spell and trap. So that lets you reset some of your plays, and then you can get something that potentially gets rid of like one of their cards. The deck actually doesn't seem too bad. Again, this is like, you can see like it's basically a diagonal, and also like it links to your opponent's side of the board, so you can kind of combo a little bit with that as well. But anyways, this is the core. This is a continuous trap card that makes it so neither player can target Orphgel. It's once per turn, you banish 1 monster from your graveyard or field, and you target an Orphgel monster or World Legacy card you control except for this card itself. Neither player can target it with card effects this turn, and if any of them would be destroyed by battle by card effect, you get to send this card to the graveyard instead. So basically, you have a boss monster that makes it so it can't, you know, be destroyed by battle by card effects. And then on top of that, you have core, which of course makes it so you cannot target it. So basically, if you want to look at it like a boss monster archetype, you could kind of look at it like that. There's also guarded treasure in here. Discarding 5 is pretty big, but I mean, it can technically be used. I'm not sure if I would consider it like very, very viable. But we have some interesting cards over here. He's obviously activating guided treasure, because again, a lot of them have effects anyways where you banish them. Could be very minus, but at the end of the day, they all have effects. Well, most of them will have effects where you banish them, like we have Diver over here. So you banish the special summon an Orphgel monster from your deck. And that's any Orphgel monster, except for, of course, itself, which is, it's a lot of these cards' effects. But he was able to use Guarded Treasure, pretty crazy, to discard 5 cards, right? He's making it work out. However, I would say it almost has a bad matchup via using like cards like Layer of Darkness, where you're able to tribute your card, which was obviously shown in the gameplay here. But pretty much, once you've got this card out, it can be very difficult, especially at this point when you get in doubles, you get in triples, like... Good luck, really, dealing with, you know, 3 cards. It can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects. And then if you have the other card, it makes it so they cannot be targeted also, which is not fun. And then also, keep in mind that you can also banish them for... Oh, where is it? It's the continuous one. Core has that effect. If Orphgel or World Legacy would be destroyed by battle by card effect, so, like, let's say they somehow negate the effect and they destroy... Oh, sorry, you're going to use a core and protect it. I mean, it was not looking too good for him. And that's kind of how the deck can run. But I want to get some variety in here, showing you a few different builds here, and I've seen a little bit of World Legacy over here. This guy's playing just like World Legacy Mech Knights. Anyways, this is going to be utilizing the Sky Strikers. Really popular run and everything. I mean, let's be honest here. It's really good. But he's going to go ahead and make Galatea. So this is one where the Link card cannot be destroyed by battle. And he's boosting them up to have a little bit more attack. I've seen this like time and time again where people just boost up the attack. Because, I mean, 1800 is not the biggest threat. But then we have Core over here. So making it so during this turn, neither player can target it. Pretty good stuff over there. I don't know. I think the Orphgel attack is really like the card that kind of helps out the deck, especially when you don't have the boss monster. And then here's Babel. So Babel, like I said before, is the card that makes it so you can activate their effects during either player's turn, which, yeah, you know, that's a pretty good effect, right? Link monsters and monsters in your graveyard whose original names include Orphgel can activate their effects during either player's turn. So you're able to go kind of, go through cards, especially since a lot of their effects are like once per turn. You can activate their effects. Therefore, it kind of helps out with that. So you almost get their effects twice, if that makes sense, because once during your turn and then once during your opponent's turn. But also, during your main phase, except for this turn, this card was sent to the graveyard. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard to add this card from your graveyard to your hand. So obviously, you can proc their effects, whether that is to search something, whether that is to special summon a monster from the deck. You have that. But I want to say most of the gameplay, because I actually did stream earlier this week, and I played against this a few different times, but I feel like this is like their go-to card. I mean, the easiest, I guess, out you would say would be like Haiju's, technically Layer of Darkness. This card is really annoying to deal with, and then on top of that, they have Core, so it's just kind of difficult to deal with it. But you guys can see the World Chalice player going for Cerberus, going for, well, he sent it to the grave. Also, Unicorn was there. We got the World Chalice Warrior. But like I think he realized that like he just can't deal with this, and I don't know. It's just one of those decks where it makes one of those like boss-ish monsters. But let me go and show you guys gameplay here of Mirror Match, just so you guys can get some variety. And thank you, Magus, for that one. Here we've got Mirror Match between the Adonger and the versus player here. This is Einstats, so this is going to be the one where. Actually, I didn't go over this effect of the continuous. Well, I did technically in another video, but obviously I want to give you guys like variety of gameplay here. So, anyways, if your opponent normals or special summon monsters, you can take one Orphgel or World Legacy monster from your hand or deck and either send to the graveyard or banish it. More likely, you're going to want to probably send it to the graveyard. And if you happen to have the Babel, going to be able to activate their effects during either player's turn. I like that. That's a really good effect. This variant, this guy's playing Dangerous with the Tuning Gum, so yeah, I guess he's playing more of a Synchro-ish build because, yeah, I mean, you can definitely do a lot of things in the deck, and that's why I wanted to showcase off this one, is because I like the idea that you can still do other things. Like, yeah, you're only able to summon dark monsters, but that's not really that much of a downside, especially when you make a hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, the Orchestra. Yeah, that's a pretty nice feel, but he's also got the World Lance over here, so this card's actually pretty insane. I haven't seen really anyone use it, but anyways, we're really using it for its effect. During damage calculation, if a Link monster battles a monster as a quick effect, you discard it. The opponent's battling monster just loses 3k attack. Completely fair and balanced, right? But then on top of that, this card is already out. Can't be destroyed by battle. I mean, he's going to go ahead and attack into it. Not going to be able to destroy by battle, but it is still 0 attack. Therefore, well, it's 3,000 direct at that point. And you can't move into defense mode because it's a Link monster. He's going to go ahead and attack into it. And then he's going to go ahead and activate the effect of Red Hot Dragon Archfiend. He needs to get rid of that monster, otherwise he's going to be taking some attack. But he's got Einstat, so if he's summoning a monster, going to go ahead and be able to send a card. But he's going to go ahead and negate that effect. And then go into Logrius, which is the next Link monster that I want to talk about briefly. So this card has the effect where it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And you can target 2 of your banished machine monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and then send 1 Link monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. This is a really good card, too. And then also this card can't attack the turn it's activated, but that's fine because, well, obviously you just use it as a stepping stone if you're able to make a boss monster. But yo, that was cool, player. I like that one. Shout out to you, Ben. I liked that build. I mean, like I said, my goal was to give you guys variety. Now I know some of you guys want some. Let's go ahead and where's the the danger one. Okay. This is the Dark World Danger. Dark World Danger, very, very popular, right? Definitely not a bad deck. I mean, sometimes with Dark World, you used to like brick, but now with the Dangers, it's much more consistent. Although I know a double beige pass. Not the smartest play to make. I mean, you could at least win to like a number 41, right? Like a very bad threat, especially with like nothing. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people play Lucent. Is there a combo that I'm unaware of with this card? I mean, yeah, I understand if it's discarded by your opponent's card effect, you just special summon a fiend type monster from your deck to either side of the field, which works relatively, which can give you an additional card. But like, it's really difficult to pull that off. At least that's how I feel with it. But anyways, he's gonna go ahead, basically get murked turn 1, and then you just have the core triple link monsters. The Guided Treasure was an interesting concept. I would have never thought of that. But anyways, we have the core going to be activated. So he's going to banish one, target one, and then you know, neither player can get rid of it. And at that point, well, it's all over because well, that's Grapha. But I just want to show you that effect being activated. It's pretty much just for that. But anyways, if you guys want some deck profiles, 2 of them were sent in, and this is the build with the. Well, basically it's just getting tokens so you can obviously go for the more link plays, but I'll go ahead and mouse over them relatively quick. So we got 3 Driver, 3 Armageddon Knight, 3 of the Phantom Skyblast. So this is a really simple card, obviously just like, it's like Foolish Burial basically, but you get monsters you can use for links. And then we got the Orphgel Shore Zone. So this is when you banish target one in your graveyard, special summon it. Again, most of them have the effect where you can't like summon anything except for like darks. But anyways, yeah, you banish this one from your deck and then special summon it. This one, banish from the graveyard, special summon 1 from the deck, and then this one is 1 from the graveyard, and then this one is banish from graveyard, special summon 1 of them from your hand. So they all special summon some other ways. Like I said, Guided Treasure was a crazy tech. I don't know, it's kind of sacky. Triple alerts, we going fast, boys. And then we have Prime, which is a card I didn't really go over, but you just send one from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. Really, really important draw power, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It probably was used, but I was kind of going over the effects during the gameplay. We got Rhoda, triple copies of Starting Engage, 3 copies of Terraforming, 3 copies of Hornet Bit, 3 copies of Einsatz, 3 copies of Baffle, 1 copy of Orphgel Attack, and then 2 copies of Core. For the extra deck, Castell, double of the boss monsters, Borreload, Yugioh, Longrius, double Galatea, double Apprentice, which thing I just boost them. I don't know if I like, it's more of a stepping stone, honestly, than anything. It's okay. Then we got Kagari and, of course, Shizuku, because, well, this is the Sky Striker one. Anyways, next one up over here. I think it copied twice over. Alright, well, okay, don't use the Orphgel Swarm. That one was terrible. Okay. This is the other build that you guys saw. This is the one where it had the wait, where's the, this is one where if it's sent to the graveyard, you special summon a World Legacy monster. This is the one with the Kraken Dragon, which is another newer card. But I'll just go over it real fast. So 3 Kraken Dragon, 3 World Legacy World Scepter. Then we have, of course, 3 Driver. This one is actually interesting. I like the tech of Bird Bandit. It gives you technically another card, especially if you're utilizing the other one that special summons itself from the hand. Anyways, it's just another stepping stone. I prefer Armageddon Knight, but that's just my personal take on it. Then we have Share Zone. We have Cannon, 3 Allures, 3 copies of Prime, 2 copies of Desires, 3 copies of Trade-In. We got Upstart, double Terraforming, Upstart in a 50 card deck. Questionable, but I mean, if you're playing something like Sky Strikers, that would be more viable. This one was playing in Dark World Dealings. We got Foolish, Limiter, 3 copies of Hand Destruction. We got the Guarded Treasure. Again, I'm not sure if I would consider these like more meta builds, but I just want to showcase some cards that were interesting, right? Then Contract Down 1000, Einsatz, we got Forces of Nature. I don't know, it just, like I said, it's a questionable tech, but I mean, you know, sometimes for hype plays, do it for the memes, man. We got Baffle, and then 2 copies of the Attack, which is the one where it lets you just get rid of like one of your like trash monsters and you just banish something else. And we got the core. And then for the extra deck, we got the Orchestron, SLAYDRA, Firewall, 3 copies, 3 copies, 3 copies, and Link Karibo. Pretty much, I think this one was kind of just like mashing in things for the archetype. But I really like that Red Dragon Archfiend one. That one was pretty cool, but I don't think I got the YDK for that one. But anyways, guys, that's basically Orphgels. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's pretty much, I mean, this card's not bad. I mean, this card lets you set one, so it kind of helps out. So this one sets the back row. This one lets you potentially send a link monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Pretty decent. And then this card makes it so while you make face-up link monsters, you change their attack and defense to 0 and negate their effects, and can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects, and also you can't target it. So, I mean, well, that's if you have core, and you also have to banish one monster. But if you're making a link monster, more than likely you have cards in the graveyard. But anyways, that's the Orphgels. Let me know, guys, if you guys think the deck's good. Do you think it's bad? I don't know. I don't think it's too bad, but it's very susceptible to like getting tributed via Kaiju. Like, I mean, you guys saw, I mean, there was one time where the guy had triple of them out, but like, you're not really beating that, right? But, like, if they use all the resources, make one of these cards, and they go pass, and you go, I summon Kaiju, well, like, this card's not going to be doing you any good. And then from there, if a card said it couldn't be tributed, because I feel like that's the out to, like, these big boss monsters. But, yeah, if you were able to just go ahead and tribute with Kaiju, I don't know, like, the deck doesn't seem like it has, like, very much follow-up play if they invest a lot of cards into one, which, I mean, that's obviously relevant because, you know, they're just banish everything. I mean, some of the stuff does reset. Like this card over here, you would target 3 of them, shuffle them, and then you'd have an effect, but you wouldn't be going for it because, well, you'd just be tributed. But anyways, thanks to all you guys that sent in the replays. Shout out to you guys, appreciate it. But anyways, let me know, guys, again, your thoughts on the deck and the archetype down below, comment section below. I would say this is more like a competitive-ish build with Sky Strikers, but like I said, the Red Dragon Archer one, I like that. Cool idea, my friend, because there's a lot of dark monsters. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to always see new, fresh Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks in action. And if you guys got any cool replays of anything that, you know, gets announced, or technically we got some more, like, stuff for some other archetypes, but this one was more, like, well-rounded, I would say, to showcase off. But basically, it's just another one of those boss monster decks where, like, you just kind of focus on going for that. Yeah, you have a little bit of plays, but, I mean, let's be honest here, this is just a boss monster. You can't target me towers type of a playstyle. At least that's the way I see it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And I'm signing out.